Hey guys, it's God's Comic Brad Stine. We've all been experiencing the corona crazy together. So here's my question for the week. Is it possible that the coronavirus problem is more than just a virus that some people are getting sick by? Is it possible, I'm just throwing it out there, that it could be used as a way to get Americans used to giving up their freedoms? Do you think it's possible there could be something else involved than simply a virus that makes people sick? Write your answers down below, and let's see if it's possible that this could actually be used to turn us into something we're not. Come on in. All right, be honest. How many of you out there are what they used to quaintly refer to as card-carrying communists? You know, the communism that demands allegiance to the state, that commands you drop any outmoded idea like free speech and personal autonomy and free enterprise and private property ownership and entrepreneurship. For most Americans, being a communist is such a counter-American idea and is so fundamentally abhorrent to all this nation was founded on that it is difficult, seeing its track record, how anyone could be so stupid as to give their intellect and freedom over to its premise. But on the other hand, if there was a specific group or country that wanted to infiltrate and to fundamentally destroy America from within, all it would take is to get Americans to abandon their history, accomplishments, traditions, and the Constitution. But wouldn't that be an extremely difficult thing to do? I mean, even the most politically uninvolved Americans certainly would see someone trying to convert them to communism and would easily be able to deflect their attempt, or would they? Could it be possible to surreptitiously get someone to willingly give away their fundamental rights and gladly become absorbed into the collective of communal participation and accept their role as submissive cogs in a wheel of a machine more important than them? If so, how would it work? What if I created, I've got to figure this out. How about this? A crisis that affected everyone. Something that wasn't obvious, like a terrorist attack or a military invasion. Something that was spread throughout the country through fellow Americans without their knowledge at first. What if it was something we as humans were familiar with, but historically weren't able to combat it equally effectively each time? What would that be? A virus, perhaps, that was spread communally, as all viruses are. And yet, when it was first recognized, it was just exotic enough to impose the possibility, mind you, that could potentially cause untold amounts of death to everyone that contracted it. Thus, it gained a foothold, so to speak, because of two realities. One, it was in fact a real virus, and two, it was potentially able to wipe out millions of people of every age, gender, and nationality. If we were prudent people, we would take every precaution necessary to defend ourselves and our loved ones from contracting it, yeah? Because of its unique man-made nature, we might even overreact how to defend against it. Maybe shut down our freedom to travel and even shut down our businesses and churches, our entertainment venues, and our restaurants. Even those social institutions and accommodations are the backbone of our traditions and flow of commerce. The least we could do, being as this may be the worst virus in human history, is sacrifice our freedoms just for a week or two until the dust settles. We get a handle on what we're actually dealing with, right? Makes sense? I mean, what red-blooded American would be so callous as to not be willing to pitch in and sacrifice for the good of our fellow man? Matter of fact, that would be a theme that, if it took root, could be used continually, especially if people began to balk and protest the irrational, ineffective means we may implement to the detriment of literally millions. What if we then added something that would intrude on the most basic fundamental rights of an American by forcing them to wear something that was uncomfortable, made it, difficult to breathe maybe, and also eliminated the individuality of the wearer? a mask, perhaps metaphorically, that was never designed to be worn daily and for hours at a time, and naturally people would be uncomfortable with it, and many would protest. It would be then that we could once again play the empathy card and shame these Americans for even contemplating the notion that perhaps there was a bigger game afoot and the constitutionality of freedom doesn't disappear just because someone might be in harm's way. Remember that the person that just might be affected by contracting the virus needs to be placed in a separate category from the rest of us. The category that actually raises their status to such a degree that even those who are healthy and will never actually get the virus must succumb to a willingness to give up their rights or be shamed by not doing so. This would be a great exercise in conditioning Americans to no longer see themselves as deserving equal representation, but in fact, to view their personal freedom as an affront to anyone else who decides that they are dangerous. Maybe we could even coax neighbors, children, to call authorities and turn in our former friends and neighbors for breaking the social gathering rules set in place by mayors and governors who, by the way, will never suffer a lost paycheck, a lost business, or lost dignity. If by conditioning Americans that to be truly good citizens, betraying and turning in neighbors is actually an American thing to do, then slowly, bit by bit, freedom by freedom, we will watch freedom and constitutional rights not be stolen by the point of a gun. No need. We will get Americans to slit their own throats and actually pat their own backs as being the best of citizens, all the while watching themselves bleed out by their own hand. Graphic? You bet. Real? Oh, yeah. There's a lot at stake when you're not free anymore. This is God's comic, Brad Stine. I think it's quite clear that PC free is liberty. Hey, my awakened warriors, thank you so much for being subscribers and committed to my ministry all month long and into the next one. I really need that because, you've proven to be one thing that I need more than anything. People that believe in what I'm doing and think it needs to get out into the atmosphere. And you can do that. I got a lot of free clips out there. Would you share them for me? Just send them out there on your Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, and let people know what I'm up to, because I am going to fight for your values, for what you believe in, just like what I believe in. This is my calling, and I'm happy to do it. All you have to do is help. Just go ahead and join up. Continue on every month, and we will continue to provide for you material that lifts up God and country, tears down political correctness. We got a lot of other new ideas coming as well. As long as you participate, you can help make it happen. Let's fight like warriors together. Thank you so much for being part of this mission to America.